Hello and welcome to FMS200. My name is Max Hohner and I'll be your professor for the course. The goal of this video is to give you an overview of the class, what our objectives are, what my expectations are, those types of things. I'll post a video like this every week, usually on Monday, giving you an overview of what we're doing that week, what the specific types of assignments are for that week, and best practices for going about completing those assignments and objectives. This video will be a little bit longer because this is also the overview for the course, not just this week, but it'll still be pretty short. So what I'd recommend doing at this point is opening another tab, the Blackboard site, course home for the Blackboard site, another tab, and then following along with me as I go through the things you need to find in Blackboard for the course. So if you're looking at the course homepage, you want to pay very close attention to the panel on the left-hand side. That has all of the links you need to find everything you need to do for the course. Everything for the course is already available online through Blackboard, so you can look ahead, you can work as far ahead as you want. And I would recommend really becoming best friends with this Blackboard site because it's an online class. And you may have taken online classes before, you may not have. If you haven't taken online classes before, what's important to note is an incredible amount of work. ASU actually stipulates that in an online semester-length course, and this is a semester-length course condensed into 8 weeks, is 135 hours of work with 18 hours of work per week. So, you need to plan ahead, you really look at due dates and stay on top of things. So become best friends with Blackboard. With that said, I'm now going to go through the things that you should be looking at on Blackboard. So the first tab you'll want to click is syllabus and course schedule. This is great because this course schedule gives you all the due dates for all the assignments, as well as the readings and the screenings that you need to do for each unit. So you can just click on this from the home page and stay right up to date with what you need to be doing for a specific week. So always check back to that and make sure you're keeping up with all the assignments for the class. The next tab down is textbook information. We don't have a textbook for the class. All the readings are available online. And so we'll talk about units in a minute, but you just go to each individual unit, find the readings there, so there's no textbook. After that is FAQs, frequently asked questions. This is really helpful. A lot of the questions you probably have for me can be answered there. I want to make really clear that I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have at all. But please, before emailing me, check the FAQs and see if you can find your answer there. And if you can't, then go right ahead and email me. More than happy to answer. I love talking with students. Okay, so after FAQs, you have a little section that says discussion board and is the first tab, and social media assignments is the second tab in that section. These will be your participation type assignments for the course. A couple of things to note here. The way this course is probably different from other online classes you've taken before. Hopefully, if you've taken other online classes, you're familiar with the discussion board format. One key difference is I'm not asking you to respond to other people's posts. You can just do one initial response to the question that I ask. Other professors lots of times ask you to respond to other students. That's not a requirement in this course. The other key difference is about half of the discussion boards will be under the discussion board tab, and the rest are under the one that says social media assignments. My goal here is to help you become a little more familiar with social media. I know many of you are FMS majors or FMS minors, and a lot of the jobs you'll be going for when you're done in school will be with media companies. And they're going to probably, even in your job interview, ask to look at your social media account. So I thought the idea of doing some of your discussion board posting through social media would be really useful experience and practice. Don't fret over this too much. This should be fairly easy. You can create an entirely new account. You don't need to use your own personal account. You can create a new account for this class and just do the posting for this class. If you go to any of the social media assignments, all the directions will be there and be really clear. All you need to do is make sure you answer the question and then include the hashtag. So when I'm grading them, I'll search for that hashtag and all the responses will come up and I can just read them and then go on and give you points for them. So be sure to use the hashtag. The hashtag identifies our course as well as the unit for which you're doing your post. So you need to make sure you have the hashtag correct so that I'm getting the right post for the right unit. We're using Twitter, and one of the things I think is great about Twitter is that your post will be very short, which means you really have to work on being succinct and to the point and conveying what's most important in your response to the question. Longer responses where I'm expecting you to write a little bit more will be the ones you do on the traditional discussion board. And then a few of them, I think 2 or 3, are also on Instagram rather than Twitter. And the advantage of Instagram is there you can incorporate some kind of visual component. And again, everything is on there. The instructions are very clear. I just want to go through it with you in this video format because sometimes it's easier to understand what someone is saying. Sometimes it's easier to understand it in writing. So I just want to lay things out as clearly for you as possible. Moving on down from there, after those participation type assignments, in the next blocked off group there in the left-hand tab are the assignments that go beyond participation. Your writing assignments and exams. Again, this class is a little bit different than ones you've probably taken before. I'm not asking you to write essays. There's one assignment in Unit 7 that's an essay assignment, but that's just one option. You can also make a film in that unit. But we're going to be doing things in this class that I hope will be really eminently practical for you as you go on and graduate and go into the film or the media industries. And so like I said, you'll be asked to make your own film a couple of times. This is very easy. You can use your own phone. We're also going to do some source assignments where you find primary and secondary sources and learn the difference between those for older films. This really gets into the historian aspect of the class because it's film history. So if you're interested in film history, I hope you'll enjoy those. But again, rather than traditional assignments, I'm trying to provide some assignments that will be really useful to you if you are pursuing a career in film and or media. Finally, the exams. I know people are always curious about the exams. So with the exams, again, they're probably a little bit different from exams you've taken in other classes. I do not try to make the exams hard. I try to make them as straightforward as possible. If you have read all the material, watched all the lectures, and really stayed up on the course, you'll do really well on the exam, and that's all you need. It's open book. Both exams are open book, and you have 2 hours. So there's plenty of time. And there's not a ton of questions. It's not very many questions probably compared to other exams you've taken. So if you've read the material and you watch the films and the lectures, then you're going to do really well on the exams because 2 hours, if you're already familiar with the material from having stayed up with the class throughout the semester, then 2 hours is more than enough time to find the answers. So they're open book in 2 hours, and you have 1 day to complete them. They'll become available at 12 a.m. on the day they're due, and they'll be available until 11:59 p.m. that same day. And so you want to make sure you set aside some time. Don't start the exam at 11, start it a little bit earlier in the evening. And keep in mind, if you're working remotely, which is great, that's part of why we offer online courses, but if you are working remotely, that you keep in mind that the assignments are due Arizona time. I'm very flexible. If circumstances come up, you're not able to turn in something on time, please email me. I'm a very flexible, understanding person. We can talk and work things out. The only exception to that is the exams, which is why I mention it now. Just to be ethical, to avoid the possibility of students potentially cheating. I'm not saying you individually you would do that, but just in general, as a university, we have to be careful about those things. I can only have the exam available for 24 hours. if I make it available longer, we open ourselves up to some of the issues I just mentioned. So when the exams come up, just, it's an online class. You have to plan ahead, look ahead, plan your time when you're going to work on things. So just be really mindful of that when the exams come up, and make sure you allow yourself time to do it. If you've really been staying up with the course material, it probably will not take you anywhere near 2 hours. But, just give yourself enough time on that day, and you should be fine. Like I said, these are not tricky exams. They're really just a way to demonstrate that you've been doing the work for the class, and that's all. All right, so I think that is everything you need to know for the class. Again, I'll go into more detail on each individual assignment as they come up, but by posting one of these announcements every Monday. And again, if you have any questions, please direct them to me. If you can't find the answer in the FAQs, I'm always happy to help in any way I can. Two last things. One is, this course was designed by one of my colleagues, Professor Kat Hartman. She's not teaching it right now, so I'm kind of taking the class over, you could say. So I'll be teaching it, I'll be administrating it, I can answer all the questions you have. Please direct all your questions to me. Don't direct any questions to her, because she's not your professor this semester. But all the lectures, the recorded lectures that you'll be watching, are her voice. So just wanted to account for what might seem like a disconnect there. And then that reminds me, there is one thing I forgot to mention. At the start of that third block of links, there's one called Units. If you go there, that takes you to all the units for the course. And once you click on a unit, for instance, if you click on Unit 1, your readings you need to do, your video lessons you need to watch, your screenings, your films you need to watch, are all there. And the last thing is a to-do that tells you what assignments to do. So if you just go to each unit, you can do everything real easily. It's all right there. And if you look back at the syllabus, the units are the very first thing on the syllabus. And the due dates are all there. The due dates should all be correct. I've updated them all since the last time we offered the class. If for any reason a due date seems incorrect, let me know. I may have missed one, but I'm pretty sure I corrected them all to what I'm expecting this semester. If you look at a unit and the due date, then you know when you need to do it. The first unit is not due till this Sunday, the 17th. So you have plenty of time to familiarize yourself with the course. We'll really pick up speed after the first unit with 3 things due each week. A unit due on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday each week. So you want to look ahead, familiarize yourself with the course. I'm giving you this first week to get used to that, to get used to the course, and then we'll pick up speed after this first week. So don't start a unit, an hour before it's due. Look at it, a few days ahead of time. See how long it's going to take you to read and watch everything and do all the assignments, and then plan accordingly. But if you look at this syllabus, you see the due date for a unit, then you click on units, you click on the particular unit you need to do. Everything you need is right there. Again, look at it a little while ahead of time, see how long it'll take you, and plan accordingly. And you'll do really well in the class if you operate from that mindset. The last thing is, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Dr. Max Hohner. I'm actually an ASU alum. I received my PhD in English literature from ASU in May 2016, and I have worked for quite a while for the Film and Media Studies department, both while I was a graduate student and after. So even though my degree is in literature, my next passion after literature is film, and media as well, film and media both. And I've spent a lot of time teaching, especially for ASU in those areas. So I can answer all of your questions, and I'm just really looking forward to working with you. This is a fun class. We get to do some different things. So I'm excited to read your posts and watch your films and really just dive in. It should be a great class, and I'm looking forward to it. So have a great semester.